I was at summer camp when I was a kid. There was a dairy farm about a mile from the camp, and you used to walk by it and see the cows. Actually, I've forgotten the name, but there were like 40 cows, and they had automatic milking machines, of course.
Milking machines?
I never...
You didn't try?
No,
you didn't
never.
Get curious?
Have you ever... No.
No, and my parents both grew up on farms and milked cows.
Cows are big.
They tried to get me...
Would you do that now?
No.
You wouldn't do that
Suppose it kicks you.
Yeah. Well, I think you're supposed to come at it from the
Go
side.
straight to concussion protocol.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to be behind it. Yeah, I think you're at the side.
Teach you that.
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. Today's episode, Bill Belichick looks happy, Nick Foles looks great, and Jason Kidd is looking for a new job.
Yeah, who saw that coming?
But we begin today, well, certainly he didn't. We begin today with the New England Patriots reaching their 8th Super Bowl in the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era by coming from 10 points down to Jacksonville in the fourth quarter, winning 24-20. Afterwards, Jaguars players complained about the inequity of penalties. 1 for the Patriots, 6 for the Jaguars. Wilbon, you watched this game.
Yeah.
Was the result about refereeing?
Oh, please. Shut up.
That's hardly any penalties at all.
You got a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. Win the game. You know how in boxing you go in with a certain mentality. That person's a champion, and to beat the champion, I may have to knock him out. I've got to win a clear, decisive match here.
Yeah.
All right? So the Jaguars were in position to do that, and they couldn't hold off Tom Brady and that offense. They couldn't hold him off. I don't want to hear about the officiating. 6 penalties to 1 penalty, okay. There's a little lopsided nature there. They're the champs. If they get the benefit of the doubt, I'm fine with that. But this, you know what? It's the laziest thing in sports stuff, just lazy thing to just go to conspiracy. It means it's a fallback position. You got nothing better to say.
I mean, somebody has to tell me that the referees caught the 3rd and 18 for Amendola, because I think Amendola caught it. You and I differ on this game. You felt it was inevitable that the Patriots would win.
They always do.
And I honestly thought they were going to lose this game at 20-10 when Dion Lewis had the ball snatched from him.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm not sure that was a fumble, and that went against New England.
I thought they were going to lose. Gronkowski wasn't in the game. The Jaguars' offensive line...
He wasn't in last year's games either.
But I thought they needed him in this game. The Jaguars' offensive line was doing a great job, and Brady was being stifled back there. And then, late in the game, and I know you'll say, sure, because that's what happens, but Brady and Amendola. Amendola on a return, Amendola 2 touchdowns, Amendola 3rd and 18, Brady and Amendola. I was surprised.
How many damn times you got to see the movie before you know the ending?
I didn't expect it.
What are you talking about?
I did not expect it.
The last 4 times the Patriots have trailed in these playoff games, Tony, they've been down by double digits. They've been down 10 points, and they've won each of those 4 times. So you know Brady's going to come back. You know they're unfazed.
Danny Amendola, 5'9", and basically made of glass in his career. Who's guarding him? The answer is nobody is guarding him.
Who's guarding Tom Brady? Everybody, yet nobody. This was inevitable. What are you talking about?
The defense of the Patriots needs to be mentioned in this one regard. 6 points to Jacksonville in the second half. And the late play with the back of his hand, who was that, Gilmore?
Just ask you this briefly.
Play.
Every time of those 6 that Michael Jordan and the Bulls won, were you shocked when they came back and won these games past Indiana in a Game 7, past Portland? Were you shocked?
The character of the game is different. There is an exchange every 24 seconds in basketball. You can hold the ball in football for 9 or 10 minutes. Blake Bortles was so good for 3 quarters. So surprisingly good. But Brady's great.
That final score?
Great. 24-20.
That's what I thought. If there's going to be a spectacular divorce with the Patriots, as some are expecting based on a recent report, it'll have to wait at least 2 more weeks. Patriots owner Robert Kraft told the NFL Network, quote, "I have a saying. Jealousy and envy are incurable diseases. If you run any kind of company, any kind of business, the more successful you are, you have strong personalities, there's always a certain amount of tension. That just goes with the agenda." Close quote.
They hugged.
Tony, one last run for the Patriots, or do you see the band right there playing on for a while?
Let me go back for a second because this needs to be said. They are now in their 8th Super Bowl together. There is no franchise in the league, 52 years of Super Bowls, that has been to more than 8 over that period of time. These guys have been to 8 in 16. And Brady, in his 2 playoff games this year, 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, 67% completions, and 627 yards.
That doesn't tell me whether you like working with people. Tell me whether you think they will stay together.
I think, yes, I think they will stay together, although Tom Brady is 40. I don't know how long he can. He's the MVP at 40. I don't know how long he can do this. If I'm Belichick, and Belichick's inscrutable, so I don't know.
He can do whatever he wants.
But I assume he would stay for Brady. I don't think their discord is real.
You covered a team, a championship team, a team of multiple championships, famous team, media scrutiny with discord. The New York Yankees with Billy Martin, George Steinbrenner, and Reggie Jackson.
Yes. Different. Again, the character of the game is different. You're playing every single day. All right? It's a weekly game. You can get lost. You don't have to run into somebody you don't like, on a daily basis in a locker room 5 hours before and 2 hours after. So I think they're different. You brought up Michael Jordan before, and I want to say this about Brady. There's Michael Jordan, there's Roger Federer, there's Tom Brady. And those guys won championships at 35. And Federer may still win a championship. This guy's 40. He's 40.
See, that's what I think is going to stop the band from playing at some point. You have these little injuries, which you say we'll see, and you get through it on Sunday. But it doesn't mean you get through them forever. Avocado, rub some avocado on it. Can't work forever. But I think they're going to play on, and the band plays on.
The second game yesterday, no game at all.
No.
Minnesota scored the first 7 points, did not score at all after that. Philadelphia Eagles put up 38 points in a row. See you later, Skol. Relishing their underdog role for the second game in a row, the Eagles dump trucked the Vikings. Nick Foles, your boy.
He's great.
26 for 33, 352, 3 touchdowns as in Carson who? Wilbon, has Foles shown you enough that you will stop discounting him in the Eagles?
I wasn't discounting them. I thought they should have been underdogs. And I discounted Jacksonville. That's who I discounted.
You did.
I discounted Tennessee. That's who I discounted. And so Jacksonville was even unfair because they won a game and they also pressed New England. So, but I didn't discount the Eagles. Tony,
you didn't pick
Foles,
them.
I didn't pick them. I did not pick them. And I'm not going to pick them this coming week either.
Okay.
I'm not going to underestimate them. I think they're a worthy, big-time heavyweight opponent. Do I think they're going to beat New England? No, I don't. But Foles was even better yesterday than Brady, and that's a mouthful.
Foles managed one game, and he won another game.
Yeah.
But their defense, and I know, you've discounted this, number one against the run. They held Atlanta and Minnesota to a total of 7. These are playoff teams. Yep. This isn't the third week of the season. 2 playoff teams, win or go home, 17 points. That's really good. I thought they looked really good, Philadelphia.
They did. But now, do you think they're going to do that against New England? Look, the Philadelphia Eagles only get judged in one context from here on out, which is 2 weeks from yesterday.
I agree with that.
Do you think they're going to be able to hold that offense? And Gronk is going to be back.
Yes, I assume he's going to be back. Do
you think they're going to be able to hold them to 17 points? And the answer is no.
Well, they held one team to 10 and one team to 7. And by the way, the mythology of the Minnesota defense was unraveled yesterday because guys in green are running free in the secondary, and Foles has an hour to throw all the time.
That's right.
So whoever is coordinating the Minnesota defense didn't do very much against that. Do I think that Philadelphia will hold New England completely down? No. But I don't. And as good as Carson Wentz is, could he have been better yesterday than Nick Foles?
No.
So what if Nick Foles throws that at you again? What if?
Philly, the people in Philly painting themselves as some sort of underdogs is laughable to me.
They're underdogs.
According to Vegas, you're Philly. You're a big-time city. The last underdog in Philly was Rocky. And don't tell me about Philly and underdogs. You're big, tough, strong, loud, arrogant, obnoxious Philadelphia.
Let's move on.
Hey, look at you, taking up because they're I-95 team.
No, because my son went to school there, and I like Philadelphia.
All right. Vegas odds makers have made the Patriots a 5.5-point fave over your Eagles, and your Eagles are quite comfy in this new role as underdog. Philly right tackle Lane Johnson said, quote, "Hey, Tom Brady, pretty boy Tom Brady. He's the best quarterback of all time, so nothing I'd like to do more than dethrone the guy," close quote. So your early thoughts on Super Bowl 52, Tony, are what?
They might surprise you a little bit. I do think the Patriots...
Who might surprise me?
My thoughts. I do think the Patriots will win the game. I think Brady's hand will be healed. I think Gronkowski will be out there. But I think Philadelphia is better than you think Philadelphia is. I think Philadelphia will totally shut down the running game of the Patriots, which isn't much. They forced Case Keenum into 48 passes, which is too much for Case Keenum.
Of course it is.
Too much. What if Brady has to throw 50 times?
He'll throw 50 and win. He'll throw 50. He'll throw 60.
It's done for you.
8.
Right? It's done for you.
He'll go Bob Greasy, or he will go, high-tech new age. It doesn't matter.
Do you like Philadelphia's receivers? Do you like Ertz? Do you like Torrey Smith? Do you like Jeffrey?
Everything Philadelphia has done all season.
And you think it amounts to nothing?
Not nothing, but I don't think they can win the game. I think New England is that much better than Philadelphia. I think that Bill Belichick, given 2 weeks, as he has done, except for Tom Coughlin and the Giants, aided by 2 impossible catches in the Super Bowl that went against his team, will beat anybody with those 2 weeks. I think Philadelphia, on a 1 to 10 scale, is a 8 to 8.5 sort of team.
Right.
That doesn't beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
You at least concede that Philadelphia should be the underdog. Yeah. And you like it when Philadelphia, when they put on the dog.
No, I think that's stupid.
Oh, I like that when they put on the dog.
It's Philadelphia. You're not an underdog. New York, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Chicago, you're never the underdog.
In this
Beat your
particular
chest,
game,
be a man,
right.
be what you are.
I think the Patriots should win. I think they will win.
We agree.
I think it's going to be closer than you think.
Wait. You haven't asked me what I think the score is going to be.
What do you think the score is going to be?
28-24. I'll pick a remix.
Oh, then you're gonna take the 5.5.
I don't know about that. I don't bet. I don't do that. That's your thing.
It's just math. It's not analytics.
I don't pay attention to that.
You get 5.5.
Care about that. Don't bet.
You made me cough.
Good.
Let's take a break.
About time.
Coming up, should the Vikings commit to Case Keenum for next season?
Next season, the Vikings, really, they won't. And after giving up a $148, the Cavaliers are getting mocked everywhere for their lack of D. But what can they do about it, if anything?
A couple of things they can do about it. First, they can change players.
Ooh.
Then they could change somebody above.
More safe.
Mail time, where you send us topics, occasionally in complete sentences. Let me see what's
come on
first.
now. Stop ripping the emailers. What are you doing?
Who will be the quarterback of the Minnesota Vikings next year?
Teddy. That's what I think. Look, all year long, the head coach there has refused to compliment a guy who got him to the NFC Championship game. I don't understand this. At first, he talked about a horseshoe being up his behind. He's taken every chance he could to compliment this kid and turned it around and said, basically, you're lucky we let you get in the huddle.
Right.
So don't you think he's going to replace him?
Well, I don't think it's going to be Sam Bradford because he's a human ace
they?
bandage and Tuba Bengay. And
he's had a starter.
You cannot.
He threatened to put him in midseason.
You cannot depend on his availability. So then it becomes Bridgewater or Keenum. Isn't everybody there a free agent?
Yes, all.
Can't they all leave?
They could.
Couldn't they go attract someone else? I mean, what more could Keenum... Forget this last game.
I agree.
What more could he have done throughout the course of the season?
Doesn't it seem like Bridgewater
if
the guy
if Zimmer loves Teddy Bridgewater, then it will be Teddy Bridgewater.
Keep him.
Yeah, I agree with that. My answer is I don't know.
Blew a really good chance that they're not going to be close to this next year.
What about Drew Brees? Something like a one-year deal with Drew Brees.
No, if I'm Drew Brees, I'm not going up there to freeze to death. Can the Cavaliers shrug off giving up a $148 to the Thunder?
You can shrug off a lot of things. 148 that is an alarming number. And in the last 2 weeks, the Cleveland Cavaliers have also given up 133, 127, and 127. These are the kinds of numbers that get coaches fired.
Yeah.
Because a star player who is used to having his own way, who has fired coaches before, as LeBron James has with David Blatt.
I don't believe that.
Please.
That's another
please,
topic.
please.
Another day.
Walks in and says, we can't go on like this. And Tyronn Lue is in the unfortunate position of having sat down when the music stopped. And they go, okay, you're out. Okay. You're out because we got to bring in new players. If you do that, bring in a coach.
Going to change. Look, Tony,
you got to bring in players.
Tony, they don't look like they can play defense. They're an older team, which usually is not a problem because old teams win the NBA all the time. But they don't seem to want to put in the work on the floor. They don't want to do something that's hard. Playing defense is hard. You got talent you can play offensively. But there's some matchup issues. Kevin Love, to me, should not be the 5 in any league that requires defense. You go back to being a stretch 4. I don't know. I think this is players, not the coach, but can they make a deal? Do you want to give up your pick that belongs to Brooklyn when you don't know what LeBron's future holds?
Let me ask you this very pointed question. Are you going to be surprised if the coach is changed out?
A little bit. They owe him a lot of money, too.
So what? Money's money. Throw money at people. Doesn't matter.
Throw money at people? That's your
solution?
solution?
Doesn't matter. Money doesn't matter.
I'm going to be a little surprised if they let T. Lue go. I would be surprised.
Do you understand why the Bucks fired Jason Kidd?
No, and by the way, did you like LeBron's statement when they asked him what's going to happen to T. Lue? He didn't really.
He did not back him.
Now, Jay Kidd, I don't get this. I mean, they're a couple of games over 500. They're in 8th today, but they're like a 2-good-week run, 5 or 6 game run from being
they're
in
one game
4th
over
to 5th.
500.
I mean, Greek Freak, Jabari Parker's coming back, Middleton, Bledsoe, Brogdon. This is a very nice nucleus. I don't want upheaval there, and I would keep Jay Kidd. I don't understand this.
Is it possible, and Jason Kidd has talked about this, that the players on this team are all so young that they don't really know what it's like to go 82 and win a lot?
Yes.
He's gotten them to the playoffs twice. They're not. I don't think they're a particularly great team. He's in 8th place now. As you say, he's one good week away from 5th place.
But they're so young. Why not keep him? Let him guide them to that good month.
Is it possible? Is it possible that so many people who watch this show and other shows hear people like you talk about how great the Greek Freak is?
He's going to be great. Tony.
Is he great now? They should be undefeated?
Win in the NBA. No. So, that's why I wouldn't have let him go.
Right.
I keep Jay Kidd there and let him work with Greek Freak and reincorporate Jabari Parker. And I still think they can be a top 5 seed. They're not going to beat out Boston or Cleveland or Toronto yet. How concerned should the Spurs be about their challenging relationship with Kawhi Leonard?
So this is based on an ESPN report that says the relationship between Kawhi Leonard and the organization and management.
Fractured.
Well, I don't know if it was fractured, but certainly strained. So I am reminded of what Brian Windhorst told us the other week, in which he said that LaMarcus Aldridge was so unhappy with the Spurs that he wanted to leave, and communicated this to everyone in the organization. And then Greg Popovich knocked on his door and sat down, and in an hour, he signed an extension.
That's right.
I believe you and I differ on a lot of things with Greg Popovich, but we don't differ on this. He has so much clout. He has earned so much respect from everybody in the league for such a long period of time, that if he knocks on the door with Kawhi Leonard and says, let's make a deal here, tell me what's wrong and I'll make it right, then I believe that's very doable.
Yeah, Tony, I mean, the question here is about whether or not Kawhi Leonard feels he's been dealt with fairly and squarely on the issue of his extended leg injury and the recuperation and the treatment. And if you believe that he was seeking second opinions outside the organization, all that's fine and well. But here's the deal. Kawhi Leonard is one of the 5 best players in the NBA today.
Right.
And they need to get this settled, or otherwise they could just blow up the San Antonio Spurs.
Do you think they can?
I would think they can, because they're not a dysfunctional organization. They are the height of function.
Does
so you would think
Popovich
they
not
could do
carry
this.
that status?
He always has.
I think he does. Enough email. Let's take one last break. Still to come, big news about your boy Jalen Hurts' hair.
We can have big news about hair? Seriously?
Men's hair.
This video of Gordon Hayward shooting 3. What does it say about this season, potentially?
It actually says nothing.
Oh, it does.
It says nothing. He's standing still and taking shots. He's standing still.
Open threes.
He's got to run to the spot.
Now pizza.
Happy time, people. Happy 36th birthday, Jason Peters. If Carson Wentz is the most valuable Eagle, then left tackle Jason Peters is the second most valuable Eagle, and both are out for the season. As Nick Foles has filled in for Wentz, stay with me on this one.
Okay.
Halapoulivaati Vaitai has been filling in for Peters, and the Eagles are still playing, aren't they?
What it says about the Eagles, that missing those 2 players and still get to the Super Bowl, that's incredible. And I guess you go to the coaches
first. A lot
first.
of coaching and
teammates,
GMing. And GMing, yeah. Happy anniversary, New York Football Giants. On this day 6 years ago, the Giants beat the 49ers in overtime to set up a second Super Bowl matchup against the Patriots, which they won, which led to Tom Coughlin's reputation as a Belichick killer, which is why at 20-10 and Deion Lewis losing the ball, I really thought Jacksonville was going to win that game yesterday.
By the way, Vikings offensive coordinator Pat Shermer is going to be officially announced as new head coach of the G-Men.
How's that going to play?
Off that 7-pointer.
How's that going to play in New York?
Think your friends in the New York press
7
are going to take
and
kindly
out.
to that?
Happy trails, Dick LeBeau. New Titans coach Mike Vrabel will reportedly not retain the 80-year-old LeBeau as defensive coordinator. LeBeau was forced out by the Eagles a few years back as well, and this year as DC, he took the Titans to the playoffs. I'm sure there are a lot of teams out there who would happily hire Dick LeBeau, who has been in the NFL for 59 years, and who is also, by the way, in the Hall of Fame.
What's about the Steelers you meant to say, by the way?
What did I say?
You know, Bill Belichick was in kindergarten when LeBeau came into the league?
I know, because we were in the same homeroom in kindergarten. I remember that.
Okay.
No errors today, and we go to the big finish.
Let's do it.
Novak Djokovic lost in straight sets in the 4th round of the Aussie Open. He's surprised.
Yes, a little, because he is the Joker, but he hasn't really played since Wimbledon, so he's got a lot of rust.
Yeah,
that's layers of rust.
Yeah.
The Cardinals will reportedly hire Panthers defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes. He could hire.
I'll be honest with you. I never heard of him until today.
Right.
I'm unfamiliar
New
with his
name on
work.
the radar for you.
5-star recruit Zion Williamson going to Duke. Is that a big deal?
If you believe these recruiting surveys, Duke next year has the numbers 1, number 2, and 3 recruits in the country coming in. Alabama quarterback Jalen Hurts cut off his dreadlocks. Good decision?
I have no hair. I don't know why you're asking me that. By these pictures, I would not have recognized him. Maybe he thinks he can fool Saban into starting him over
Well, he said
Tua.
he's going to do it if they won.
Okay,
so
then
they won, and that's
so you're happy about that? Last one. Your boy Gordon Hayward released a video of him shooting threes. Is he coming back this season?
I don't know, but I hope so. I hope so. Because given the injury he suffered on opening night, he's going to come back at some point. 12th man, they can use him coming off the bench as insurance.
Don't get him hurt. We're out of time. We'll try and do better than next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. You can get the PTI podcast on the ESPN app or Apple Podcast.
Giraffe Bolt, thank you very much for sending me the cold kicker. Thank you. I hope it works.
The what?